Someone is ruining your peace right now. Maybe it's a coworker who disrespects you, a family member who drains you, a stranger who cut you off in traffic, someone who said something that's been living in your head rent-free for days. And here's what makes it worse. They've probably already moved on. They're not thinking about you. They're not losing sleep. But you're still carrying it. What if I told you that the reason you keep getting angry, keep getting bothered, keep letting people live inside your head has nothing to do with them? It has everything to do with something you've been ignoring, something the Stoics identified over 2,000 years ago, something so simple, so counterintuitive that once you truly understand it, not just hear it, but understand it, you will never be the same person again. Stay with me, because this is exactly what you clicked for. Let's be honest about something most people won't say out loud. You've tried to control your anger before. Maybe you've read books, watched videos, told yourself, I won't let this person get to me. And for a little while it works, but then something happens. Someone says the wrong thing, someone disrespects you, someone ignores you, and just like that, you're back in the same cycle. Why? Why does this keep happening? Because you've been solving the wrong problem. Most people think anger management is about controlling your reaction. Count to 10, take a breath, walk away, and those things help temporarily, but they don't fix the root issue. You're treating the symptom, not the disease. The real problem is not your reaction. The real problem is what you believe about other people and the world around you. Deep down, most people operate on a hidden belief. It sounds something like this. People should behave the way I expect them to, and when they don't, I have every right to be upset. That belief feels reasonable, it feels justified, but according to the Stoics and according to modern psychology, that belief is the single greatest source of unnecessary suffering in human life. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled one of the most powerful empires in human history, wrote in his private journal something that should stop you dead in your tracks. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Not some of your power, not most of it, all of it is in your mind. So every time you give someone outside of you the power to destroy your mood, your day, your peace, you are giving away the only real power you actually have. But here's the part nobody talks about. This is where it gets deep. The Stoics had a concept, one concept, and it was so powerful that it became the cornerstone of an entire philosophy that has survived for over 2 millennia. Influenced Roman emperors, shaped modern therapy, and is now being studied in neuroscience labs around the world. That concept is called the dichotomy of control. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the greatest philosophers in human history, opened his handbook, the Enchiridion, with these words: "Some things are in our control, and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in one word, whatever are our own actions. Things in not our control are body, reputation, command, and in one word, whatever are not our own actions." Read that again, slowly. There are only 2 categories in life, what is yours and what is not yours. And when you try to control what is not yours, which is what most people spend 90% of their mental energy doing, you suffer. Every single time. What is actually in your control? Your thoughts, your interpretations, your choices, your effort, your values, your response. That is the entire list. What is not in your control? What other people say, what other people think, how other people behave, whether they respect you, whether they like you, whether they treat you fairly, the traffic, the weather, your past, other people's moods, other people's choices. Everything outside that first list, you cannot control. And the moment you truly accept that, your life changes. Here's a hard truth. Every time you get angry at someone, you are essentially getting angry at gravity. You are furious that water is wet. You are enraged that fire is hot. Because people, with their flaws, their ignorance, their selfishness, are doing exactly what people do. They are being human. Marcus Aurelius was emperor of Rome, the most powerful man in the world. He had more reason than almost anyone in history to be bothered by people. Senators manipulated him, generals betrayed him, courtiers lied to him. And yet, every morning he wrote in his journal to remind himself of this. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. Before you say, "Isn't that pessimistic?" listen to what he says next. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own, not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine. He didn't say, pretend people are good when they're not. He said, understand why they behave badly. And the moment you understand why, you stop expecting otherwise. And when you stop expecting otherwise, they lose their power over you. But how do you actually do this? How do you go from understanding it intellectually to living it? That's exactly what we're going to break down right now. This is where most philosophy videos fall short. They give you the ideas, but not the practice. So right now, we're going to go deep into 4 specific tools that if you use them gaily will fundamentally rewire how you respond to people and situations that used to destroy your peace. Number 1, the pause. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps, said something that perfectly captures everything the Stoics stood for. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Most people have no space. Someone says something, they react immediately. Someone cuts them off in traffic, immediate rage. Someone disrespects them, immediate anger. The Stoics called the practice of creating that space prosoko, self-attention, self-watchfulness, the practice of observing yourself as if from a distance before you act. Here is how you do it. When you feel the heat of anger rising, stop. Don't speak, don't act, just breathe once, deeply. And then ask yourself, is this person actually threatening me, or is it just uncomfortable? Then ask, what is within my control right now? Then respond from your values, not your emotion. That sequence takes 5 seconds, but those 5 seconds are the difference between a life led by wisdom and a life controlled by other people's behavior. Think about the last time you got genuinely angry. What happened? Someone said something, someone did something, and you reacted. And then later, maybe minutes, maybe hours, maybe the next morning, you regretted it. That regret is your wisdom speaking too late. The pause is how you bring your wisdom into the moment, before it costs you something. Number 2, negative visualization. This sounds dark, but stay with me because this is one of the most liberating practices the Stoics ever developed. The Stoics practiced what they called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. In modern terms, mentally preparing for difficulty before it arrives. Marcus Aurelius did this every single morning. He reminded himself that the people he would encounter that day would be selfish, ungrateful, rude, and difficult, not because he was cynical, but because he refused to be shocked when people behaved badly. Here is the principle. You cannot be deeply hurt by something you already expected. Why does it hurt so much when someone disappoints you? Because you expected better. Why does it surprise you when someone is selfish? Because you assumed they'd be generous. Negative visualization doesn't make you bitter, it makes you unshockable. And an unshockable person is an unbotherable person. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you see anyone, take 60 seconds. Mentally prepare. Someone today will be rude to you. Someone will be ungrateful. Someone will not respect your time. Someone will disappoint you. And then remind yourself, that is fine. That is human nature. My peace does not depend on their behavior. Try this for 1 week. Watch how different your days become. Watch how much less power random people have over your emotional state. Number 3, The view from above. Marcus Aurelius had a meditation practice he called the view from above. He would mentally zoom out of his body, out of Rome, out of the planet, and look at human conflict from the perspective of eternity. He wrote, "How many a Chrysippus, how many a Socrates, how many an Epictetus have time already swallowed up?" He was reminding himself that every person who ever stressed him out, every conflict, every insult, was already forgotten by history. And his own life, the most powerful man in the world, would eventually be forgotten too. Now you might say that's depressing, but the Stoics found it deeply freeing. Because if in 100 years none of this will matter, then what exactly are you so upset about right now? The next time someone makes you angry, try this. Mentally zoom out. Imagine you can see yourself from above. You are a tiny person in a tiny city on a spinning rock in a universe so vast that our entire solar system is a grain of sand. How important is the argument, the insult, the disrespect? The Stoics didn't use this to dismiss problems, they used it to size them correctly. Most of what makes us angry is not actually a problem, it is an inconvenience, but our emotions treat it like a catastrophe. The zoom out restores your sense of proportion, and with proportion comes peace. Number 4, amor fati. This is perhaps the most radical Stoic idea of all, and the one people resist the most. Amor fati, love of fate. Not just accepting what happens, not just tolerating it, but actively loving it. Loving the rude coworker? Loving the traffic? Loving the person who betrayed you? That sounds insane, right? But here is the question the Stoics ask. What is the alternative? You can hate what happens, you can rage against it, and what does that change? Nothing. Absolutely nothing, except your blood pressure, your cortisol levels, your relationships, and your quality of life. Epictetus said, "Seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life." Amor fati is not passivity. It is not giving up. You can still fight for what is right. You can still set boundaries. You can still walk away from toxic people, but you do all of that from a place of peace, not from a place of anger. Because the person who acts from peace is always more effective than the person who acts from anger. We're halfway through this video, and what I'm about to share next is the part most people never reach, the part that separates people who intellectually understand Stoicism from people who actually live it. Keep watching. Here is the uncomfortable truth that changes everything. The reason certain people bother you more than others is not random. People trigger us most when they reflect something back to us that we haven't resolved in ourselves. Let me explain. If someone's arrogance drives you crazy, ask yourself honestly, is there a part of you that fears being seen as arrogant, or perhaps a part of you that secretly wishes you had the confidence to be more assertive? If someone's laziness drives you absolutely mad, ask, is there guilt in you around your own productivity, your own ambitions you haven't pursued? If someone being disrespectful makes you furious, ask, do you struggle with believing you deserve respect? Have you been conditioned to accept less than you should? The Stoics called this self-examination, the practice of looking inward before looking outward for the source of your pain. Other people are mirrors. When someone makes you genuinely angry, not mildly annoyed, but deeply, disproportionately angry, there is almost always a mirror dynamic happening. And the Stoic practice is this. When someone triggers you intensely, instead of focusing on what's wrong with them, ask what this is showing you about yourself.
The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. The person who bothers you the most might be your greatest teacher, not because they deserve that role, but because your reaction to them is pointing you directly at the inner work you need to do. This doesn't mean tolerating abuse. This doesn't mean staying in harmful situations. It means using every difficult person as data about yourself, and using that data to grow. Epictetus had a practice. Whenever something disturbed his peace, he would ask himself 3 questions. 1. Is this within my control? 2. What does my reaction to this reveal about my character? 3. What would the best version of me do right now? 3 questions. Write them down. Put them somewhere you will see them. And when the heat of anger rises, run through those 3 questions before you do anything else. Dealing with specific, difficult people. Let's make this real, because philosophy without application is just entertainment. The chronic complainer. You know this person. Nothing is ever right. They drain energy from every room they enter, and somehow they always find you. Recognize that this person is living in a prison of their own perception. Their complaints are not about the world, they're about their internal state. You cannot fix that. What you can control is how much of your energy you allow them to access. The Stoic does not argue with the complainer, does not try to offer solutions they will reject. The Stoic listens briefly, responds minimally, and redirects their own attention elsewhere, not with hostility, with detachment. The person who disrespects you. Someone speaks to you in a way that feels dismissive, condescending, like you don't matter. The instinct is to defend yourself, to match their energy, to prove your worth. But here is what the Stoics understood. You cannot be truly disrespected without your own consent. Disrespect only lands when you believe it. When you are secure in your own identity, truly secure, another person's opinion of you becomes irrelevant. Not because you're arrogant, but because your value doesn't come from their assessment. If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change. Marcus Aurelius. The Stoic response to disrespect is calm, clear, unbothered. Not a doormat, but not explosive either. A simple, I'd appreciate being spoken to differently, and then move on. Whether they adjust or not is their choice, not your problem. The person who betrayed you. This is the hardest one because betrayal cuts deep, and the Stoics don't ask you to pretend it doesn't. But they do ask you this: how long will you allow a past event, something already finished, already done, to control your present moment? The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Marcus Aurelius. The Stoic does not seek revenge, not because revenge is beneath them, but because they understand something the avenger never does. The moment you become consumed by what someone did to you, they are still controlling you. They won. Not in the moment of betrayal, but in every moment you let it define your peace. Forgiveness in the Stoic sense is not for them. It is for you. It is the act of taking your peace back. The person who simply annoys you. Sometimes there's no dramatic reason. Someone just gets under your skin. Their voice, their mannerisms, the way they chew, the way they breathe. Seneca wrote about how we must learn to live in the world as it actually is, not as we wish it to be. And the world includes people who are simply different from us, who do things in ways that are not our ways. The practice here is curiosity over contempt. Instead of asking, why are they so annoying? Ask, what is it about me that makes this so hard to tolerate? Because the intensity of your annoyance is your emotion, not their fault. The daily practice. None of this matters if it stays in your head. Stoicism is not a theory, it is a daily practice. And like any practice, it requires repetition. The morning intention, 5 minutes. Before you look at your phone, before you talk to anyone, sit quietly for 5 minutes. Ask yourself, what difficult people or situations might I encounter today? How will I respond from my values rather than my emotions? What is within my control today, and what will I choose to release? This primes your mind before the day gets to it first. The midday check-in, 2 minutes. At some point in the middle of your day, a lunch break, a quiet moment, pause. Ask, have I given away my peace to anyone today? Have I reacted in a way I regret? Is there anything I need to recalibrate? This is not self-criticism, this is self-awareness. The goal is course correction, not guilt. The evening review, 5 to 10 minutes. The Stoics called this the evening examination. Epictetus taught it, Seneca practiced it religiously. At the end of each day, review 3 things. Where did I lose my peace today and why? Where did I handle difficulty well? And what is one thing I want to do differently tomorrow? This practice alone, done consistently over months, will transform the way you move through the world. The journal. Marcus Aurelius kept a private journal. It wasn't meant for anyone else. It was a daily dialogue with himself, a daily wrestling with his own character. That journal became Meditations, one of the most widely read books in the world 2,000 years later. You do not need to write for posterity. Write for yourself. Write what triggered you today and why. Write what you want to become. Write what you are grateful for. The act of writing forces clarity, and clarity is the antidote to emotional chaos. Let me leave you with this. You are not angry because the world is cruel. You are not bothered because people are terrible. You are experiencing the very human result of expecting the world to be other than it is, and people to be other than they are. The Stoics were not cold, they were not emotionless robots. Marcus Aurelius wept when his children died. Seneca grieved his friends. Epictetus understood suffering deeply because he had lived it as a slave. They were not teaching you to feel nothing. They were teaching you that your inner life is yours, that no matter what happens outside, no one can touch what's inside without your permission. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Stop ignoring this, not because it's easy, it isn't, not because you'll master it in a day, you won't, but because every single day that you practice it, you take back a piece of your peace, a piece of your power, a piece of yourself, and eventually, not all at once, but gradually, you will become someone who cannot be easily shaken. Someone who walks through a world full of chaos and noise and remains steady. Not because the world got better, but because you did. That is the Stoic path. That is what you've been ignoring, and now you can stop. If this video shifted something in you, if even one thing here made you pause and think, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Not because I need the views, but because someone in your life right now is suffering from the exact thing we talked about today, and they need to know this is possible. Subscribe if you are new. Drop a comment below. I want to know, who is the person or situation you've been letting bother you the most? And after watching this, what is your first step? I'll see you in the next one.